What is going on, Casually FC? Welcome to another video of Casually Reacts. We haven't done one of these in a while, which, I usually don't come across them too often, but when there is a video to react to, I like to do video on it. So here we have official George Achillea. I hope I pronounced that right. He made a Jubilee style video where we have four Chelsea personalities, Carefree Lewis, who we're very familiar with, Nina, Don, and Ches, the two at the latter who I've seen on the football terrace. They got them together in a room, pretty much asked them questions related to Chelsea and football, and see if they strongly disagree, strongly agree, or agree. So it's going to be an interesting video. We're going to ask ourselves the same exact, or we're going to answer the same exact questions. And I'll probably get some questions for you guys in the chat via a poll to see where you guys stand. So we're going to make this a little interactive. But before we start, as usual, big up to the panel, Real Chris Oliver and myself, Marshalldbdx. Thank you guys for being here today. I know international break has been a little stale. Unless you're watching France put what, 14 or 15? No, 12.
No, 14.
14. Pass 14. Okay,
it was 14.
14 past Gibraltar. So, yeah, I know international break in Europe's league can be a little stale. South America, I enjoy watching it from time to time. I just haven't had time. But so we're here to give you guys some content. Hopefully this is entertaining for you guys. If it is entertaining for you guys, be sure to smash up the like button. It does help out with the YouTube algorithm and spread the word that this channel does exist. We're trying to get to 2,300 subscribers. So if you can help us reach that goal by subscribing. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we have plenty of content coming for you guys during this international break, as well as plenty of content when we are back from international break and watching Chelsea play again. Be sure to hit the bell notification if you haven't done so already, because we do stream from time to time off schedule, and you will be notified when we do have a stream up. Also, check out the links down in the description below for all of my links to my music, my personal channel, all that fun stuff, all in the link tree. The Twitter's on there, Discord, where we have a pretty active Discord community. So help us grow that as well. And leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about this video, any of the opinions shared on this video. And if you haven't done so already, check out the memberships. For those who haven't, there are 4 different tiers you can start up as low as 99p. And with that 99p, you basically get emojis, priority in the chat, and a lot of other perks. So read up on that, check out the memberships. It's a really cool way to support the channel outside of just doing a super chat or just being here and engaging. So if you want to go the extra mile, that option is available for you guys as well. But before we continue, just for a little bit of context, I have not watched this video. I've only seen the first question, but I realized that, you know what, I want to react to this. I think this is a cool video to react to. Chris and Oliver, you guys have seen this already?
I think I've seen maybe most of it.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Yeah, me
me
too.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, watch this. We're gonna pause after every question to answer it ourselves. I'm gonna give you guys a poll as well, so you guys in the chat can also participate with us on this. And obviously, whatever you have to say in the chat, say it in the chat. But let me go ahead and pause the music so that we can do this. Also, let me know if audio is working, ladies and gents. But let's go and start this video off. Here we go.
Here are 4 Chelsea fans. They've been stuck in a room together to find out if all Chelsea fans think the same. The concept of the video is really simple. I read out a statement like this: Hazard was a better winger for Chelsea than Salah.
Oh, shit.
Salah is for Liverpool. And then they move left or right depending on whether they strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree.
Okay.
Did I nab this concept from Jubilee? Maybe. But watch the full video to find out if Chelsea fans truly think the same. Hazard revolutionized.
Okay, so that was the first question. What? Wait,
I
the
didn't
question
put that
again.
in.
Hold on.
It was like, wait, it's something about Hazard
Hold
and
on.
Salah.
Hazard. Okay, so yeah, I just want to make sure I get the question right. Hazard was a better winger for Chelsea than Salah is for Liverpool. I guess.
No,
I'll have you guys start off.
No, like I strongly agree with that, because like Hazard, what he can do on the wing, what compared to Salah can do on the wing. Like Salah, you have to feed Salah chances and everything. Like you have to actually feed Salah. With Hazard, he will do all the work in that wing, create, even score, and like do everything. I think Salah is yes, he's a better winger in general. I think most people agree. Like unless you're a Liverpool fan, maybe Hazard is a better player. Like in general, I strongly agree. Not sure about Oliver.
God damn it! You've summoned the age-old international break debate again. What we're going to do, a Drogba or a Lampard one next? I'm just going to put it short and sweet like this. We've seen Hazard carry a trash Chelsea team and win trophies. What has Salah won for Egypt?
Wow!
Just going to put it like that.
That's all. To do with this?
No, I like you said, Hazard can carry like a dead team Chelsea because he can do everything. Salah can't. You have to feed Salah a bunch of chances to score.
Well, like I said, Chris, just go and look at.
Goal scorer, but
it's like I said. Go and look at Salah with Egypt. He can't win AFCON.
I'm sorry, you'd want Eden Hazard as your wing. Yeah, I know, but you'd want Salah as your Eden Hazard as your winger. I'm sorry, you just would. Not even just being biased.
I mean, Oliver, let's look at just Liverpool, right? Let's not bring Egypt into this. Would you also strongly agree that Hazard was a better winger for Chelsea than Salah for Liverpool?
I mean, they're not comparable because one's a playmaker and one's a goal scorer. It depends what you prefer, really. I'm going to say Hazard because of the bias, and like I said, he did it in a worse Chelsea team, whereas Salah has always had the creativity of Alexander-Arnold, Firmino. He's had Mane to pass to the other side. He had a complete team. Hazard never had that besides.
So good
True.
For Salah.
Say that again, Chris.
Firmino, even Mane was so good for Salah. They were just so good, creative wise, so they can give Salah a bunch of chances and all that. But I'm not saying Salah's obviously bad or nothing. It's just as a winger, I'm sorry, I would guarantee you if you gave it to the Premier League would vote Eden Hazard majority. I think. I guarantee it. I think. I guarantee.
And also Salah can't put his medals on the table. He's won one league. Hazard's won two.
Yeah, Salah has won Champions League though, but sadly Eden Hazard's not won one with Chelsea.
Yeah, not with Chelsea. I would say he technically won a Champions League with Real Madrid, but that's Real Madrid. He didn't even play. He played a few minutes.
He was just there.
Yeah, he had a little bit of cameo. I mean, listen, because there was a gap in my Chelsea fandom where I didn't get to see much of Hazard or Salah for that matter. I have to base this off of what I have seen from highlights and clips and history I've heard and looking at the seasons in general. And from what I've seen, don't get me wrong, Salah is a good winger, but it's exactly like Oliver said. Salah doesn't have those individual moments of brilliance like Eden Hazard did. Eden Hazard alone would just change the complete tide of a game. He's a type of world-class player that, you can depend on him to almost win you the game. You can put the game on his shoulders and he would come good. And so I guess I have to say I agree because I don't have that foundation of I've seen Hazard myself multiple times, season after season. And I mean, I'm obliged to say I strongly agree. But yeah, with Salah, again, you guys said it perfectly. He had Mane, Firmino. Even if you look at, at the midfield, Henderson when he was doing well. Then you have a Fabinho in there as well, Trent to create chances, Robertson to create chances. So there was so many outlets for Salah to be able to score. And yes, Salah has led the Premier League in goal scoring previously, but that's what he is. He's a goal scorer. You don't really, goal scoring and pace. You don't really depend on Salah to give you that moment of brilliance like Eden Hazard was able to do against Arsenal or Liverpool. Just create something out of nothing. That's not really what Salah does.
I will say though, Marshall,
go ahead.
I will say though, over the last two seasons, Salah's playmaking has drastically improved. He is, if you watch him now, in his current form, he is such a complete winger. And if you're asking me this question, I can only say I can't go strongly agree. I can only say agree when it comes to Hazard being better for Chelsea than Salah for Liverpool because Salah is still an outstanding player. We're not saying Hazard's clear, or like, there's levels. There isn't levels because they're both phenomenal.
Gotcha. Guy, do you want to link to this? Do you want to react to this video with us? If you do, just let me know. I'll send you a link. But yeah, so I feel, yeah, he might be, but I figured I'd ask just to be courteous.
Yeah.
I know he's always busy, so you never know. But yeah, so I don't know. Let's see what the personalities on the Chelsea side of on the Chelsea YouTuber side of things say. And let me hit play right there.
And Salah is for Liverpool. And then they move left or right.
Hazard revolutionised the Premier League. He was that winger for us. He delivered for us. He delivered more than one Premier League, unlike Salah. So that's one of the main reasons why I put Hazard above him for his Premier League legacy. He's won more. And he brought the flair, and he brought the technical ability, and he brought everything to the club and to the Premier League. So Salah's got the numbers, but in the end of the day, football's just more than numbers.
Wait, hold on. I mean, would you agree with that statement that he revolutionized the Premier League when it comes to wingers with the flair and all that? Like, because I feel like when Cristiano Ronaldo came to Man U, he was doing all that stuff on left wing or right wing.
No, yeah, like you said,
he was a winger.
There was other wingers obviously done like more on Salah, not Salah, Eden Hazard or similar Hazard's level anyway. Yeah, like I agree with like especially like the Premier League. He's delivered Chelsea 2 Premier League titles, being one of the main guys as well for sure. Yeah, I kind of agree with it, but he just wants a proper Eden Hazard, Chelsea fan.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like Hazard would be man of the match without scoring the most goals, getting the most assists, and the football that he played. Like he brought so much more to the team, and he carried us throughout loads of those games. And yeah, so if you're looking at numbers, yeah, okay, you might argue that Salah is better, but in terms of what Hazard did on the pitch, dribbling, taking on players, literally running through defenses like they don't exist, Hazard's the better player.
I think Hazard still has the most man the matches in Premier League history, and he's been gone for 4 years, which only just speaks about how good he was at Chelsea.
Oh, he's retired now.
Is that true?
It might be.
Is that true?
Like the guy was
a
man. The guy was a man of the match magnet. Like he would get man of matches without even really scoring goals and that. That just shows how good Eden Hazard was in general.
I definitely believe.
He doesn't need to get on the sheet for goals and assists. You just watch Eden Hazard. You have to watch him to see how good that guy is and how effective he is. And yeah, Val, he had that one drop off season because that was like a whole disaster of like Chelsea. What was Salah's seasons, under Chelsea, was they great?
But like, wasn't there, and you guys can back me on this, I'm pretty sure there was a season where Salah did drop off, and that was not too long ago. I'm pretty sure that was either last season or a season before, where like he just wasn't scoring like he was. There's a reason why Liverpool finished like 10th, or not 10th, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, not 10th. 5th.
No. It's because they couldn't defend and they had no midfield.
Yeah, the only thing where Salah was actually poor in the Premier League.
That's what I mean. But no, that's my point. That's my point, though. Like, yeah, they had no midfield, but like, how many shit teams did Chelsea have? And we still, I mean, there was that one season we finished 10th, right? But with Jose, but players down too. But how many seasons did we still finish relatively strong with Eden Hazard in the team, basically carrying us? And we didn't have a best team either.
No, even under like Sarri as well, I don't think we have the greatest team, and Eden Hazard was doing absolute bits for that team. Like, just he was unreal. We didn't have the greatest midfield. Like, we didn't have the greatest attack. Our defense was decent, somewhat decent. We play well in general, but yeah, that was not the greatest team, for Hazard to play in.
Marshall, just for reference, I've got Salah's numbers up from last season. He appeared in every single game last season in the league, 19 goals and 12 assists.
That's still good.
So
that is
good. He was definitely far from the problem.
What about the season before, though, Oliver? There was a season. Well, okay, so last season was that Liverpool finished 5th.
Where was Salah?
All the way mid-table.
Where was
the season? Hang on, the season before that, he got 23 and 13.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a drop-off season.
We had a shit team, man. We had a shit team. Like when we had Hazard, we had so many shit teams around with Hazard and just breaking us out. So I don't want to hear it, man.
Hey, where was Salah when he joined Chelsea? Where was he? He was shit.
Big up Velvishon, by the way. Big up Velvishon. Let's continue the video, boys.
He was shit for Chelsea.
Let's see what the rest of these guys have to say.
That was awesome. But the only thing is, like, Liverpool fans take as a disrespect. It's not really a disrespect. It's just the bar is that high. I look at Hazard as the best player in the 2010s.
Yeah, that's what I was
Salah,
saying.
you could put him in a top 5.
What were you saying, Oliver?
Now that's what I was saying earlier. Where if you asked me this question, I couldn't go as far as strongly agree. I can only say agree because they're both quality players. I think that's what gets lost in the debate a lot because you've got football tribalism and people want to back their team. They kind of diss the other guy, but you can't do that. Salah's quality. I think you're lying to yourself if you think that.
I still strongly agree. I rate Salah, but I strongly agree as a winger. Eden Hazard.
Yeah, I would say Eden Hazard was definitely the more complete winger. But
I'm not saying he's clear.
No. I think they're both fantastic wingers. I think, like what Lewis is saying, it's no disrespect. I think they're both fantastic wingers. I would take Salah in my team right now in a heartbeat.
Hazard will retire age 28, by the way. When he joined,
what over Cole Palmer?
I thought he joined at 29, but yeah.
Come on, Oliver.
I don't know about that, man.
I don't know. I love Cole Palmer. Don't get me wrong, but Salah...
I'm pulling your leg, man. Don't worry.
All right, let's continue.
Maybe even a top 3. But Hazard, he's number 1. Salah's not bad than him.
In my opinion, I think if Hazard was playing in Liverpool system, he'd have got a lot more goals than what he did. But like Nina said, he offered a lot more without the GNA. Hazard could literally be the best player on the pitch without scoring a goal or getting an assist. So
selling Havertz for £65 million is deal of the century.
Marshall's going to strongly disagree.
All right. Wait. Okay.
We didn't use him right.
Wait. God damn it. Shut up. Before we go and discuss this, all right? Let me close up the poll. Let me see what you guys said. 14 of you guys voted. 43% of you guys strongly agree. But 36 of you guys strongly disagree. So it was almost split. But most of you guys agreed that Eden Hazard did more for Chelsea than Salah did for Liverpool.
Don't worry.
Velvishon's bots.
He had a few
possibly. But okay, so the next question, and I'm gonna give it to you guys to start off as well, is was selling Havertz for £65 million deal of the century?
Absolutely.
Deal of the century, by the way. Deal of the century.
Strongly agree on that because, like, we bought him for 72 million. He was a massive flop for Chelsea. He didn't look like a good player, and we somehow sold him for the same price we bought him for. And we bought like Cole Palmer, who looks like he could be a better player than Kai Havertz for Chelsea. You know that he could look like a better player for Chelsea in the future. And we only bought him for 45 million. I strongly agree. Like, that guy was pretty much dead for Chelsea, except for maybe Real Madrid and Man City in the final. He was pretty much dead for Chelsea. Don't know how we got him for 65 million. Thank you, Arteta and Arsenal. Thank you.
Oliver.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go agree again because, like, listen, as
okay, not
strongly.
No, I'm going to go agree because as great as that deal is, as great as it is, and I don't like Havertz, so I could easily go strongly agree. But we've had some good sales over the years. I know obviously Hazard was great when he left us, but that sale, in hindsight, was a masterstroke. And the fact that we got all those like league title bonuses and Champions League bonuses, where they have to pay us 20 million every year they win the league title. That was just genius, and the fact that his body broke down as well meant that we didn't have to look over there and see our guy doing really well when we're thinking, maybe we could use him. And you also got Morata as well when we sold Morata to Atletico Madrid. That was great. That was a phenomenal sale. I'd probably say that's level with Havertz.
I strongly, yeah. How much we sold him for again? Sorry?
We sold Morata for 60.
I thought it was like 50 something.
That was 60.
I strongly agree with that. I would strongly agree with Matcha too.
Can you also remind me how much we sold Eden Hazard for?
That was it ended up being over 100 million.
Yeah, 120. And then it went up to 140 because he won League and Champions League, 140 overall.
Yeah. I wish I could say neutral in this, but I can't.
No.
I'm gonna have to say agree and not strongly agree. Because well, here's the thing. Like, if the question was Hazard, I would say strongly agree because we got everything we wanted out of Hazard and then gave him away, and then he ended up being a shell of what he was.
He was on 1 year left too, Marshall. If you didn't know.
And he was
that too.
I think Havertz was also on 1 year left, right? Or his
contract
was going to end at the
end. He had 2 years. He had two.
He had 2 years. Okay, so like I'm going to say like yes, the fact that we actually got 65 million for Havertz is incredible. I couldn't believe that we even got that. I mean, I was hoping we could get 70, but that's also a pipe dream because I thought I still have faith that if played in the right position, not fucking left back, not left mid, not right.
What do you mean? The German Roberto Carlos? What do you mean?
Oh my God, this is insane. That the fact that we're playing Kai Havertz, like I don't know.
But by the way,
Mandy doesn't know what Kai Havertz is good at. Let's say that. I don't think because I don't think I can't really name one real strong thing what he's really good at. That's what he's good at.
No, that's not even my thing, Chris. I'm looking at this Nagelsmann guy because Nagelsmann's their manager now. Yeah, whenever we get rid of Poch, I do not want us looking at this guy. That is horrible, man. I was saying this on Twitter, and then
hope Poch stays, man.
Hey, man, but Poch is going to leave at some point, isn't he?
Yeah,
he just is. No one lasts forever. Sir Alex left after 30 years. If Poch goes 30 years, then well done. But you're still going to leave. Right. So don't be looking at this guy. I mean, Havertz at left back might be as bad, if not worse, than Chilwell left wing.
Yeah, that's definitely. I would say it's definitely worse. There's no way. At least
Chilwell can shoot on his best day. Exactly.
At least Chilwell has the ability to shoot. And we made the argument that Marcos Alonso in another life was a striker.
Yeah.
But with Havertz, I know he has some tackles in him, but tackling like that defensively, oh my God, listen, I don't want to make this a Havertz debate again or a Havertz copium session. Listen, Keyshawn, if you want to see my position real quick, Chris, hold on. Yeah. If you want to see my position on Havertz, we did have a video debate between it's titled Chelsea. What did I title it, Chris? You
basically said, did Chelsea fail Kai Havertz?
Chelsea fail Kai Havertz, yeah. And that was a debate between me and Ahmed, and I went in detail multiple times with a bunch of stats and pictures and graphs to show where I think Havertz's best position is. Okay, and so the short and quick of it is I think he's good as a 10, or if you want to put him in attacking mid on the right side of the attacking midfield, but that hasn't happened. I don't know what manager is going to do it, and I think one day when he gets at a team, if it's the Prem or Serie A or back in Bundesliga, that there will be a manager that puts him in the right position and he starts to do decently again. And I have to say decently because I don't expect him to be world class anymore. What were you going to say, Chris?
When Arsenal offered,
what was your question?
When Arsenal offered 65 million, would you have sold him for that at Chelsea?
To Arsenal?
Yeah, would you sell for Arsenal? For
yeah, because I didn't think people at the time. I didn't think any team was going to offer more than 30 million. I thought
Chris, we did streams on this. We were all in agreement.
I don't remember, but I'm just wondering because if you said no, man, I'd add some.
No. I definitely if it was 50, I would have sold him. We were
Real Madrid actually offered 40. I was surprised.
Yeah, they offered 40, and they were like, "We're not going above 40." And then Chelsea were like, "No, we want more than 40." So they did, and we were all depressed. And then Arsenal come in.
I didn't expect. I didn't expect more than 35 for this guy, if I had to be honest. So for us to even get 65, I was like, I will rip your hand off for that deal, 100%. 100%. I hate that it went to Arsenal, but at the same time, I'd rather Chelsea have that money, especially considering how much you paid for him.
Let's be honest, it's not working out too well for him right now at Arsenal. It just ain't doing that well right now.
Listen, I don't think he's costing Arsenal games like
he was
costing
not
us
really.
Games. Where you can make a different argument for Mason Mount, but that's for another day.
He's a passenger right now. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, we had a good debate on this in the Discord.
In the Discord, which, by the way, if you haven't done so already, guys, join the Discord. It is in the link in the description below. If you don't have the app, download it, man. It's good. It's a cool app, man. But let's go ahead and continue the video and let's see what the boys had to say. I'm pretty sure all of them predictions. All of them are going to say strongly agree.
What's Lewis, by the way? Because I've seen this video. Watch what Lewis does.
Strongly agree. It's without a doubt. Everyone's gonna say strongly agree, but let's continue.
Deal of the century.
Can I leave the door? Let's leave the building. Actually, you know what?
This man for a party when Kai Havertz got sold.
This guy had a rave.
Yeah.
That leaving party was lit though.
Selling Kai Havertz for 65 million is one of the biggest finesses that I've ever seen in the whole time of watching football, right? This guy did nothing the whole time he was at Chelsea for 3 years. Mikel Arteta could have gone.
Okay, come on now. What do you mean nothing?
What did he do?
I can't. I have to. Well, okay. The obvious is he scored the Champions League goal, right?
Oh, well,
he had some good cameos in the Champions League that season.
He had a good semi-final. I give him that.
Yeah, he had some good cameos in the Super Cup or the Club World Cup, I should say. Other than that, it was, if you want to say he did nothing, like the players that we've gotten in the history,
he had little moments at Chelsea.
Hey, hold on. Let me land, man. God damn it, let me land. All right, there are a few players that I would say I would consider the literal term did nothing for Chelsea. Bakayoko. Drinkwater. And
I feel sorry for Drinkwater, man. He was nobody to be at Chelsea.
I can't. I don't know if I can name other players that did nothing.
Saul.
I'm not very. Saul. Saul. But to be fair, Saul only had a loan. Yeah, Saul had a loan.
Well, Morata was worse than doing nothing. I thought Morata was just worse than that.
Yeah.
Felipe Luis.
Felipe Luis.
He came in as a backup left back, won the title and left.
Yeah,
he did. He barely played.
I would also say Oscar did more than Havertz. Is that fair?
Yeah. Well, he's a better player for sure.
Well, he was in a title-winning team.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's fair to say. That's fair.
I mean, the thing with Oscar is people just wanted Mata over him because Mata's infinitely better. But
and Mata got sold, and Mata was sold.
Yeah, that's why people overlook Oscar a lot. I mean, Oscar was like he wouldn't set the world on fire, but there was that nostalgia for Mata.
You could see his potential, but then China, 60 million, and 60 million back then, you can't.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean, Keisha. I'm not trying to say. Yeah, go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah, just quickly, Chris. That Oscar sale for 60 million, that might be one of the deals of the century. He wasn't even on our team.
Yeah,
we sold him under Conte, and he weren't playing for Conte.
Oh God, he lasted to Conte, didn't he?
He got sold in January 2017.
I really thought he got Oscar.
Would you guys say
that? Yeah.
Would you guys say that Havertz did more for Chelsea than Romelu Lukaku did?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that.
Oh, Lukaku.
I mean, Lukaku did stuff at Chelsea, but not good stuff.
No, he did nothing. He did nothing.
Keyshawn, listen, I'm not trying to say he's untouchable, but I'm just saying, like, to say he did nothing for Chelsea is a little loaded and a little unfair. That's all I'm saying. Like, if we're gonna take words for the literal meaning, nothing would be the players I listed. Like, we talked about Felipe Luis, we talk about Drinkwater, we talk about Bakayoko, so on and so forth. Like, I don't even like. I feel like between Batshuayi and Havertz are about the same, right?
Well, Batshuayi didn't cost a lot for starters, so I
fair enough.
He was there as a backup, so I don't put him in the same place. Kai Havertz came in as a starter.
Listen, man, I don't hear anyone saying Batshuayi won Chelsea the Premier League. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he scored the winning goal. He did. I was celebrating that goal like crazy, man.
No, wait. What do you mean? Won us the Club World Cup? Did he play that final? I don't think he did.
Yeah, he did. Bro, you rated him that game. I remember because he played left wing, and we've had this conversation, Marshall, because he played left wing, and you said he was good, and I said he was terrible.
I have to go back. What do you mean, racist pig? What's going on here? Okay. Well, anyways. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But all right, let's continue the video. Let's see what these guys have to say, man.
Gone and got James Maddison. You could have gone and got Kudus. You could have even tried to go get a Paqueta, for example. But no, let me go get that seahorse that's done nothing the whole 3 years that he's been at the in the Premier League. I couldn't believe it. Real Madrid walked away. They said 45 million max, then they walked away, and that was in euros.
Listen, he won us a Champions League. Well done for that, mate. I celebrated. I was gassed, and that's it. 65 million for him. He's living nothing.
We sold him for 65 million and used that money to get Cole Palmer, who's done more in 3 games than he's done the entire time.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
GA-wise, it's insane how many assists and goals he's getting in each game now. In chances he creates, I see him creating these better through balls or whatever into the box. I've never really seen Kai Havertz do that. Not as a consistent level.
I mean, Chris, I will say that Palmer has much more license to create. I know we've had I know we've had the debate that Havertz should have created more as a striker still, especially when he drops deep.
He didn't always play strike every game, though. I will say he didn't.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, that's why I wanted him as a number 10, because like when you see him in like Leverkusen in those times, like when I was hyped up about him coming. Yeah, but temporarily, it wasn't a permanent spot. And you see, like, what I liked about him was that he was doing what Cole Palmer was doing, is doing now. Like, he was creating those, like, you know, long through balls, you know, long passes, cutting through defenses at Leverkusen. But then again, it's Leverkusen. Maybe you could say Bundesliga tax because they play a high line and all that stuff. You could say that maybe.
For Arsenal, he is playing as attacking 8, right? He's not really created any chances for Arsenal.
Not really, give or take. And he's also playing on the left side when he's not a left-sided player.
All right.
So
he is more better on the right.
Listen. I will admit the fact that he can only play on one side in a specific position does diminish how good of a player he is. Like, I feel like if you are a good player, like I was like a very one dimension. He can only play this position. He can't play any other else. I think that is pretty shitty. Like when you look at Cole Palmer can play across the whole attack pretty much. And that's what I thought Havertz could do. Apparently he can't do that. So I do got to say, like, as much as I did rate Havertz prior to coming to Chelsea, that brings it down quite a bit. I got to be honest about that. That's pretty shitty that, like, I thought this player was talented enough to play across the whole attack. Apparently not. So,
nope.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but let's continue the video.
Thank you, Arsenal. Much appreciated.
Let me just say a quick stat. Cole Palmer has created 3 big chances in 3 games, right?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Oh,
Kai Havertz didn't play the Super Cup? Or what are you talking about? He did. He scored.
He assisted in the Super Cup.
Aspie literally held the ball in a penalty. So
no, you're thinking of the Club World Cup, Chris.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh. Okay, never mind. You're right. My bad. Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
Kai Havertz created 6 in 3 years at Chelsea. By the way, 3 years at Chelsea.
Oh, that's more than I thought.
By the way.
First.
No, Cole Palmer is the player that we hoped Havertz would be, period. And he's just come and he's done that quickly. And now he's a regular starter, no doubt.
The mad part of it is, in the summer, these Arsenal fans, right, they were gaslighting us time and time again.
Chelsea's best player.
Chelsea misprofiled him. Chelsea didn't play him in the right position. Okay, so why have you moved him from the 8 role that you said he's going to come in and do a madness, and now you're playing him up top?
Don, why are they giving him pity penalties against Bournemouth?
Thank you, Arsenal, for taking him off our hands, man. Thank you so much, man.
I would rather Spurs win the Premier League this season than Arsenal.
Okay, hold on.
I would rather Spurs.
Before you answer, hold on. God damn it, Chris.
What?
Wait. Be patient.
Thank you
I'm
so much.
trying to set this up, okay? Hold on. All right.
Spurs win the
Anyways, before we continue, let me close the poll that I just had. All right. 20 of you guys voted. Selling Havertz for 65 million is a deal of the century. 45% of you agree and 25% of you disagree. Some of you actually disagree as well. So that's interesting. I thought all of you would just agree.
That was
25. So 5 people that voted strongly disagree, which is interesting. I didn't expect that from most of you guys in chat. I thought all of you unanimously were going to say agree and strongly agree. So that's an interesting one. Now, Chris, your turn. I'd rather Spurs win the Premier League than Arsenal. What do you think?
I rather Spurs, because literally, if I don't like listening to Arsenal fans on social media in general, like even right now, and they win fuck all. I can imagine them winning the Premier League. They're gonna be like talking so much shit about Chelsea. Chelsea washed. Arsenal bigger London club again because they won the Premier League. And Tottenham, they've never won a Premier League. They never won anything serious. They won't be as loud as a Arsenal fan. And I see Arsenal fan as more of a rival over Tottenham for me. Like, I just do. So I rather Tottenham win it. I strongly agree with Tottenham because that's how I'd feel on Tottenham winning the Premier League.
Oliver, your opinion?
You got to say Spurs just for the expressions content. I can't lie. Like that he would lose his mind if that happened. But I'm with Chris though. If I'm talking genuinely though, like Arsenal fans are just generally more loud and more annoying. I don't need to be seeing that on my timeline. They're bad enough already in this phase 4 of the Arteta process and all that. So, you know, I really don't need them to be any louder than they already are. You know, they want to. They celebrated a 2-2 draw at Stamford Bridge, so What do you think they're going to be like if they win the league title?
Yeah.
I guess I gotta say I strongly agree too, because like what Chris was saying, if they were to win the Prem, they would not shut the fuck up about it forever. They still talk about their FA Cups and all this Carabao Cups, the Invincibles, you know, they still talk about this shit. And right now, as it is, they're kind of annoying and intolerable right now as it is. Don't get me wrong, Spurs fans can be pretty intolerable too. But they're intolerable in the sense of they like a lot of them seem entitled to me. Like when Jose was the manager, they were complaining about the style of football they were playing. Yet Jose was about to win you a fucking trophy. Like at the end of the day, like priorities, guys. Like you had Pochettino and you had all this fancy football and stuff, and you didn't win shit. You came close, but you didn't win shit. And you had Jose, who was about to win you one, and then Daniel Levy, the clown, decided to sack him before he had a chance to win them a trophy. And then what was the manager that took over? Ryan Mason, right? Ryan Mason took over and didn't win you shit. You guys ended up losing in the final. But there was that privilege, like, I'd rather play shit football and not win anything than play this fossil football and win a trophy. It's like that entitlement is disgusting, and I hate that about Spurs fans. But I think I would hope that if they were to win a trophy, they would silently be more humble about it than Arsenal. I don't know. Like, I could be wrong about that. And the expressions content would be great.
Yeah, they would be, because there's not as many fans as Arsenal fan base, so they would be.
That's a good point.
In general.
Spurs winning would hurt Arsenal fans more too. Yeah.
Oh
yes.
God, yeah,
40 chest right there. True. Good one.
Yeah, Aaron, good point.
They would.
Good point. Yeah. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, you know, if Spurs win, they still can't chat to us. They still can't chat to us. How many Premier Leagues did Chelsea win? 5, 6?
No, I think a lot of
we got 5.
Would just be so happy they won the Premier League title. I think that's how it would go. I feel they wouldn't be trying to rub it into like Chelsea fans or Arsenal fans and all that too much. Like they'd be humble in that way, I think.
And do you guys in chat and in the panel remember like when Liverpool won the Premier League, the snobbery from Grizz Khan and what's his face Rams and all these people on the terrace and the YouTube channels, like the Liverpool fans were so like, we're the greatest team in football, all this and we're fantastic, we're unbeatable and all this snobbery. Like you would get that from Arsenal fans. I don't think Spurs fans would have the gall to act that way. So
I mean, this is why I always say it every season. If Chelsea aren't winning that league, let it be City.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, a lot of these teams are so intolerable. But all right, let's continue. Let's see what these the panel has to say about it.
Premier League this season than Arsenal.
Oh no!
Really?
Yes. I'd rather you didn't. But if it's you or Arsenal, I have a gun to my head for the greater good. For the greater good. You're the lesser evil.
That basically just online.
Anyone but Arsenal. Anybody. Genuinely anybody.
You guys seem a bit unsure
I feel
in the
like
middle.
Arsenal fans would be hard to shut up, and considering there's so many around my circle, I feel like I never hear the end of it.
But giving Tottenham that Premier League, though,
it's only one goal.
Graduate from the kiddie table.
The thing is, for me, this is why. Number one.
Graduate from the kiddie table. That's fine. We've won multiple. Arsenal, they're unbearable.
Personally, I know a lot more Arsenal fans than I do Spurs fans, right?
That is another thing too. Yeah. I feel like I know a lot more Arsenal fans than I know Spurs fans, and they would just be intolerable.
I barely know any.
They would be
Spurs
absolutely
fans.
intolerable.
I barely know any. I know like one real life, just one.
Mm-hmm.
I know two.
I think I know. Yeah, I think I know like 2 maybe. And I don't really talk to any of them. I just know 2. So it's just like, yeah, I know a few Arsenal fans, and I do talk to some of them. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with them. Strongly agree.
I strongly agree too. Let's see what these guys decide.
And if Spurs were to win the Premier League, it will only be their first one. If Arsenal were to win the Prem, it will be their 4th one. So they're only one less than us. So I'd rather Spurs because I don't see Spurs winning another one before we do. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather Spurs just because of that. It will give you your one, have your one. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have been in the trenches for a while. We'll firm it. But Arsenal fans, unbearable bunch, man.
Yeah.
I would rather Chelsea qualified for the Champions League than win the FA Cup.
All right, Chris, don't jump the gun yet. Hold on. Okay.
Let's someone answer first.
All right. Hold on. Don't jump the gun. Okay. Let's see what the chat had to say. So, and to answer your question, Keyshawn, yes, I did see that. I wanted to shoot myself, but no, Johnny did not fucking cook him. Don cooked him. Okay. Like, come on.
No, Johnny cooked himself.
Yeah, Johnny cooked himself.
That's what happens.
But okay, so let's see what the chat had to say. 10 votes. Rather Spurs win the Prem than Arsenal, and 60% of you guys strongly agree. Oh, 11. So now 55% of you guys strongly agree, and 27% of you agree with the remaining vote each on strongly disagree and disagree. So, all right, most of you guys agree.
We hate
strongly
Arsenal
agree.
more.
Yeah, strongly agree that you rather just give Spurs the Prem. Okay, so the next question now is, I'd rather Chelsea qualify for UCL than win the FA Cup. All right, well, you guys go. I got to think about this one. That's a tough question.
I won't go first this time, I said. Unless you want me to go first.
I'll go if you want.
Oliver, you go first.
Yeah. Oh, this is easy. Strongly agree, because I want to win the Champions League. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
If I have to, say we're talking this season, would you rather win the FA Cup this season, like in this season when we don't have Europe, or qualify for Europe? I want to qualify for Europe so we can win Europe next year.
Yeah.
I mean that's got to be the aspiration. The Champions League's bigger than the FA Cup. If you're choosing between the two, it's got to be that.
Look, trophy, yeah, like I said, trophy's a trophy. Like, it's nice to win a trophy. We haven't won one since somewhere under Tuchel. Was it the Club World Cup our last trophy we won?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's like a couple.
Yeah, besides the
years
women's
ago.
team, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to include the women's team with the men's team. That would be a bit shameless, just because I support the men's team. I barely watch Chelsea women's team. Don't take that as offence, but I just don't. I don't really watch any of football.
Actually, no, Chris. We won the Premier League series in the summer.
But like the FA Cup, it doesn't get you in Champions League. Yes, it's a trophy, but no, like I would strongly agree getting Champions League football. Being in a Champions League football, just watch it on Tuesday, Wednesday nights. It's just great to watch, and we're normally, you know what, we've been a good team in the Champions League. We do actually get to rounds. We even competed against we kind of competed with parts of the game, and then we just got like
we just had our worst season, and we knocked out a title challenging Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, we comfortably knocked them out as well.
We beat AC Milan 5-0 over two games.
You look at where Dortmund now, they beat Newcastle twice, so like Chelsea was still somewhat good in the Champions League last season, but yeah, like Champions League qualify. Strongly agree.
Although I'll tell you what though, it would be nice to win a final at Wembley. That's one thing I will say.
When was the last time Chelsea won the FA Cup?
We won it under Conte in 2018.
18, my bad.
Okay.
Against Manchester United.
I'm good. This is tough, man. I think I'm gonna have to go with disagree. Listen, I do want to get into the UCL. Do not get me wrong, and I want to get back into Europe. But at the same time, like, it has been years since we won the FA Cup. I do aspire to win the best trophy in the world for clubs, which is the UCL, right? And that's the hardest competition there is. I do strive for that, but the likelihood of us winning that when we qualify for it, it's not easy. It definitely isn't easy. Like, people do argue that when we did win it 2 seasons ago, it was a little bit of a fluke and we did get lucky. I don't agree with that, but there is that argument. We didn't have the best team.
Yeah, thanks Timo Werner.
Oh, yeah, gosh. But I will say, I want to go back to winning trophies, and qualifying for top 4 or top 5 isn't a trophy. That's almost like the mentality that I remember, like Arsenal before they sacked Wenger. That was the mentality, like, oh, top four. That's the standard. And yes, I get it. It is important financially for us to qualify for UCL, but it is also important for us to just get into Europe in general. If we win the FA Cup, we get into the we automatically get into the Europa League, which is a step in the right direction. I think this team, where we stand right now, could use a trophy, could use the confidence boost of winning a trophy like that. It's been a while, and on top of it, like, I feel like I just want to win trophies again. I don't want to. There's no trophy for making it to UCL. And I feel like part of me is like, if we just settle for getting into Champions League, we're falling into that Arsenal mentality that they had of like, we're just content with UCL. You know, I do want to win trophies.
I think it depends how you frame your answer, because what I did, I said I want to qualify for the UCL to win the UCL. I don't want to be there just to be there. If the situation would be, we qualify for UCL, but we don't win it, I'm taking an FA Cup. So it's kind of conditional.
But like obviously the team is going to try to win the UCL. Like there's no doubting that. But like winning the UCL is a very tough thing to do.
No, teams try to win it, but it's about is it realistic that you are going to? Can you put together that run?
There's actually like I would say there's always like a 20 to 30% chance Chelsea could win the Champions League, because we are a good knockout team. I know, in all fairness, this is a different team, different manager, so it could be different.
Yeah, it's too hard to judge at the moment.
Yeah, and this is what I was gonna say. Like Oliver, I'll say this. Like what Hassan just asked there, based on the current squad, like what would you take? A UCL qualification? Or would you take an FA Cup?
Arsenal would just took it a top.
Oh God. I mean,
based on the current team, like, what do you think they're going to do in the UCL next season?
If you're talking this season, then I'd take the Champions League, because just go and win the Carabao Cup. Win the Carabao Cup, No,
I'd rather win the FA Cup.
That's
why?
A trophy.
Because you know why I'd rather win the FA Cup over Carabao Cup? Because FA Cup gets you in Europa League. Where does the Carabao Cup get you into?
Conference League.
Oh, there you go.
Is it really?
Yeah. Carabao Cup is automatic qualification to the Conference League.
No. I don't want to touch the Conference League. I don't want to. If Chelsea get there, I'm not watching the game. I'm not. Even in the final, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch. Big teams should not be in the Conference League. I strongly say they should not be in that competition. That's just no right to be a big team to be in there.
But the thing is though, Chris, like, I'm aiming in the Premier League for a Europa League. Europa League at worst. That's what I want. From the Prem
Cup to Europa League would be alright for you then.
No, but even Carabao Cup and what I was saying is, if you're asking this season FA Cup or Champions League, and get me Champions League, and then because it's not mentioned here, just go and win the Carabao Cup. Mourinho, his first trophy at Chelsea was the Carabao Cup, and
I wouldn't mind that. In that way,
Carling Cup back then, right?
Yeah, it was the Carling Cup back then, and that gave his players back then the mentality to push on for a league title, and then to do a double, to do a league double the season after that, complete that double. So I'm definitely taking the Champions League for those reasons. So I'm saying strongly agree.
It is either or. I still am going to disagree, because now I'm factoring in, like, I don't want to doubt the team, but at the same time, like, I feel like if we take this team as it is right now and we just throw them into UCL next season, I feel like they're not going to be ready. I feel like we have to incrementally prepare this team. Like, if they can do it in Europa, then we can start challenging in the UCL. You
got Newcastle, Man United in there now, though. Like, who's to say we couldn't do well if we were in it, or do something? We do better than them guys.
Yeah. All right, let's I would think so. Let's continue the video. Let's see what the selected people have to say
this season.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm with that guy.
Strongly agree.
I got a reason for this though.
That's hard,
Trophies, back to the Champions League.
Top 4 FA Cup, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bro, you're moving like Arsenal, bro.
Yeah, I just think the question
That's
was.
what I'm saying. Thank you, Don. That's what I'm saying. It's just, it feels like it's an Arsenal mentality, just like, top 4, here we go. Like,
The thing is, though, that, like I said, they haven't framed their answer in a way I want to be there to win it. And that was the problem with Arsenal. Arsenal were never there and investing the money to win it.
I think Arsene Wenger did want to win it, though.
Yeah, I think it's implied that all these teams want to win.
I mean, their ownership certainly didn't have the aspirations.
They did get to a final. No, they lost, but they did get to a final at least.
You could argue, Oliver, that Chelsea, that started becoming the standard under Roman towards the end of the tenureship of just getting into UCL because of you could argue that they weren't really interested in winning it because of the backing of the manager, because of the transfer windows we would have after we went far in the Champions League or won a trophy. You could argue that Chelsea's mentality went that.
No, yeah, and I've criticised that mentality. But like I said before, I want to be in it to win it. If we're not there to win it, then I don't want to be there. So, I'm taking UCL on the condition that we win it. That's all.
Yeah,
I think there's a massive difference between that and Arsenal. Where Arsenal just weren't run with the ambition to win a Champions League. At least when we won the Champions League second time, Roman spent £220 million.
Yeah.
There is a difference,
sure. And that's what we should have been doing constantly after we won everything. But let's see what these guys ended up saying. We see Lewis going towards disagree, but
Right
let's
now,
see what they say.
You know what? I hear it.
Come here.
We need that winning feeling.
The winning feeling. We need that competitive.
Talk to me. Why did you initially go on that?
I went over there because we actually win the Champions League. So when we're in it, I actually believe we can actually win it. We had our worst season last year. We still made it to the quarterfinal, and we were competitive.
Plus, it's more attractive in terms of buying new players. But the thing is, we've already bought so much. Other than a striker, we don't need anything
100%.
else.
Exactly.
So I'd rather have that winning feeling and build that within the squad.
These new
You know what, Lewis? That's a really good point too. The other allure to being in the Champions League is that factor of, we'll attract players because players want to play in the Champions League. And we already kind of are stacked up with a squad. I don't feel like we need to go out and buy more players other than a goalkeeper, a left back, arguably, and a striker, And we've been able to do that without a UCL.
The only one I can see, if we maybe want to usher him in, maybe it will be a problem. Maybe it might be a problem if we don't have Champions League football to get him.
Absolutely.
Or maybe convince even Ivan Toney, because you never know. Arsenal convince him, and they're in Champions League football. It'd be harder to convince Ivan Toney to come to Chelsea.
Thing is, though, Chris, it depends on Ivan Toney's ambitions, because realistically, he's 28 years old. This is going to be the last big deal of his career.
Yeah,
sure.
So if he wants to take that step up, then it can't be to us unless we have a drastic turnaround.
Okay, let's keep going.
players definitely need to experience winning together. Do you know what I'm saying? I think an FA Cup could be the beginning of more trophies to come, similar to with Man City when they started to win the Carabao Cups.
If Pochettino wins a cup with Chelsea, he's going to prove a point. He's actually going to install a lot of faith from the fans, the players as well. And like I said, if you want to get confidence in one way, winning an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup doesn't matter. I don't really distinguish one from the other. Domestic cups to domestic cup. And yeah, it proves a point, and it means a bigger building block for next season. So,
and ironically, they both get into Europe. Winning the Carabao Cup gets you Conference League, and winning the FA Cup against Europa League. So,
and we've won the Europa League both times we've been in it. So, what's to say that we can't
we'll do it again?
4-1 Arsenal, Baku. Remember that?
To be fair, that's probably the only game I was ever supporting Chelsea in my life. So I'll take that one. Poch will still be Chelsea.
Okay. So they agreed with me, disagree. So let's see what you guys in the chat had to say. 14 of you guys voted, and this is kind of split. Strongly agree, 43 of you, the majority said they strongly agree, and 36% of you disagree. So, all right. I mean, I think there is arguments for both sides. So I get it. But okay, the next question is, Poch will still be Chelsea manager at the start of next season. Oliver, we'll start with you again.
It's way too early to tell. Like, we could literally come back. I don't know. I want to sit on the fence here, but this is stupid because we could literally come back from the international break and just stink it up, and then we're in the relegation zone, and then that's when the owners decide to pull the plug. Like,
do you think that'll happen though? That's the thing.
Well, what do I think they'd sack him?
Well, do you think we'll stink up and then Poch be sacked? That's what you where you.
I mean, I don't know, because this Chelsea team's not consistent. That's the thing. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to say he is going to be here next season, but that's only going to be an agree, because I'm more on the fence, if anything. But it's going to be agree and not strongly agree.
I also do agree. I'm almost actually going to strongly agree again, but no, I'll be agree. I think he's done quite well managing the team. I actually think he's managed the team very well in general. Like I think he's got managed injuries a lot better with the previous manager. Like he's not gonna rush Reece James 90 minutes. He's gonna like sub him off and not play him every game. He's gonna do well on that. So I think that's gonna last longer with like these players like that and help us win more games. He's also is it quarterfinals in Carabao Cup against Newcastle?
I think so.
It's quarters. I think we beat Newcastle as well, and then we get to the semi. I think he's actually going to win a trophy this year, maybe the Carabao Cup. That might be the trophy we might win. I can kind of see.
Yeah, be happy with that.
He gets somewhere, I think, as well. I think he gets somewhere like top 6. I'm not sure exactly what position now at this point, but I think Poch survives the season after that poor season under Potter, and I saw our owners literally sticking by him until literally near the end. I can see him sticking with Poch the next season. I can see it.
I'm gonna go strongly agree, mostly because exactly what you guys said. There's been some good results against tough teams that it just seems more promising than what Potter was doing. There seems like more of an idea. There seems like more of that attitude that we needed at Chelsea. Although a lot of it, Poch does talk a lot. But there is that mentality, it seems like, that he's instilling. We've seen players improve already, where we didn't see that under Potter, really. And then the other thing is the amount of money that we've invested into backing Poch and giving him this team, essentially. I think we're too deep to go back to sacking a manager and rehiring another one. Who are you gonna go for? And on top of it too, how often are you gonna do that and it not work? We need to just commit to this and see what happens, because we've been sacking managers and hiring managers for so long and have not merited any results anymore. So we just can't do it anymore. I think it's a tried and tested method that no longer works in the Prem, and we're just gonna have to see. But I really think that the owners aren't gonna buckle on that. They've already have reasons to believe in him, and they're just gonna stick with him. Anything else you want to add to that before we go back into the video?
No.
I just think this is a really hard question because, it just kind of depends. You can't. We're not in a position right now where we can properly answer this, because, I remember when Potter got sacked. I remember one of the reasons that they cited for that was because of that Aston Villa game where he played Cucurella and James both as centre backs in the back three, and and they were like, well, they were kind of like, why are you doing that? So, imagine if Poch gets us in near the relegation zone, and then he's still playing Colwell at left back. That would come under the same criteria, and then they could easily just do what they did with Potter. So that's why it's so difficult for me, because it just really depends on the results and if Poch patterns up with his player profiling.
Yeah, and I also think a lot of it has to do with the performances. We looked so lackluster and unable to score under Potter, despite whatever formation. There have been times where, yes, Poch's formations and team selection have been very dodgy, but we performed, and there are times where we look terrible. But that's the risk you have with the manager. And that's the other thing too, Poch is taking risks. With Potter, he was so scared to take any risk at all. So, I mean, I'd rather you as a manager risk and it not work out than not take risk while it's not working out. So let's continue the video and see what our panel has to say.
Chelsea manager at the start of next season. Oh, as he loses the deliberation there, going across to agree.
I don't think he's going to do as bad as it looked at the start. So I think he'll still be here. As long as we're not in relegation form, I don't see any reason for him to get sacked.
Yeah, truly, what could be worse than last season as well? That's my thinking. What could be worse?
The problem is, me speaking as a Spurs fan, from the outside in looking at you guys don't...
He's a Spurs fan. No.
Should have seen it.
Yeah, he looked like one. All right, let's continue.
We tend to hang around managers very long.
We're trying to go away from that. That's the old regime. We need to stick by a manager now. There's no more chopping and changing.
People don't realise that Tuchel was sacked because he didn't want to work with the new owners. And then Potter was given so much time. Do you know what I'm saying? We lost to Southampton.
He was so patient
with Potter. He was getting, after every loss, after every draw, it was coming out that they still support him. We lost to Southampton, bottom of the league. Still bottom of the league when they beat us, right? He was still in the job. We lost to you guys, 2-0. He was still in the job. the narrative that that Poch ain't gonna get time isn't true. If Poch is doing the right things and we can see progress, he will get time.
Yeah, for this season, we'll have that mentality. But obviously next season now, we want to see a lot more.
Yeah.
As long as we get back into Europe.
Get back into Europe.
Like the standards have to stay the same. I get where you understand Chelsea have to take a step back, but you have to look at games like, let's say the Arsenal games, the top 6 games. I think we need to go there and we need to win these matches.
And Postecoglou has a higher ceiling.
Okay. So, they mostly, for the most part, are in the same area where I strongly agree. But yeah, I mean, one more thing before we move on to the next question and see what the poll is like is if we don't qualify for Europe, where do you guys stand with Poch? Where does this question now bring you? Like, are you in that bracket of disagree, strongly disagree? Like, where do you stand if we don't actually make it to Europe this season?
Oh, if we don't make it in Europe, I still wouldn't sack Poch because, like, even some of the bad results this season, I'm not all on blaming Poch this season. Yes, Poch has he has done mistakes this season, especially playing Chor at left wing. It's just never play that guy at left wing again. If you play him at left wing again, I might change my stance on you, Poch. But yeah, like, I think he has picked the right lineups this season as well. Like against City, that was a great lineup. I forgot.
Sure.
I think was it a Tottenham
Arsenal.
game where was it Arsenal Tottenham where he started Cole at left back, but then he changed it at halftime and put on Cucurella. He knew the mistake. I like to see that. I do like to see when he knows when it's not going right and he sees mistakes. He will change it. He will change it early and.
You still think he would stay?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I need to see on top of that though. I need to see him never play Caldwell in that position again. It just does not work. Like, he's had some good games. The Fulham game, he was good. He assisted Mudryk, but like that's one out of how many? Come on now.
Liverpool game was good, I thought.
But Oliver, where do you stand if we don't qualify for Europe? Where do you stand with Poch next season? Do you think he's going to stay at the job? Do you agree? Strongly disagree? Where do you stand with that?
I mean, what are you saying Europe is? Are you saying Champions League and Europa League or Champions League, Europa League and Conference? Are you counting
Conference League? I'll throw in Conference League because it's still Europe.
I think they'll probably stick with him because, like, I mean, that's obviously better than what Potter was getting us to. I'll say agree, but I think there will be a disappointment in the club because all we've heard, all we've heard from the reports is that they want. Their target is top 4.
I feel the same way. I still strongly agree they're going to stick with him as long as there's improvement, right? We can't go back down or lower than where we were last season. We definitely can't. But let's see what chat has to say. 6 of you guys voted. Less and less of you guys are participating. 6 of you guys voted. Agree that Poch will stay at Chelsea next season. 83% people voted that they agree, and the remaining few voted strongly agree. So big up to you guys for voting.
I'll tell you what, I think what helps this kind of thing is that Poch survived the Arsenal game and the Matt Law reports and all that. Because if he not the Arsenal game, sorry, the Spurs game, because like if with Matt Law, the way he was moving with those reports, like if Poch lost that Spurs game, the fan base was turning on him. Like, let's just not beat around the bush there.
Yeah.
And when the fan base turns, it's always easier for an owner to sack.
Yeah. Okay. So the next question is, Ange Postecoglou has a higher ceiling than Pochettino. Real Chris, we'll start with you on this one. What do you think?
Look, I'll be
agree,
real.
Strongly agree, disagree, strongly disagree.
His receiving hairline's got higher potential in Poch, but no, I disagree. I don't know enough about
disagree,
Poch.
Not strongly disagree.
No. Like, I don't think he has a higher potential. I seen Pochettino with like Tottenham as development, them making Champions League final with Tottenham. Like, there was nobody team. He's had great players. He's had players who were not great, but he's turned into great players. I'm not seeing enough of Ange. Yeah, Ange has done really well. Like, I saw his crazy record at home. It's like, what was it, 3 seasons? Not being again beaten, but he was like.
We ended that.
Yeah, we ended that because he had to play that high line. But yeah, like, I think he's a very stubborn manager as well, by the looks of it. Like, I think Poch in general does have a higher ceiling, and Ange. I don't know what Ange has really done compared to Poch. Like, I could say he's reached Champions League finals.
So
I mean, he's
you
managed.
Agree.
Well, I think he's managed in Australia. He's managed the national team of Australia. He's managed in Japan, and he managed Celtic. I think that's his career, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
So, Chris,
like
you agree or you strongly agree?
No,
I mean, I'm sorry. You disagree or you strongly disagree?
I disagree. I just disagree on that.
You just disagree. Okay. Oliver, what do you think?
So does he have a higher potential? I'm saying strongly disagree. Like, I just.
Okay.
Yeah, like until I see Postecoglou reach a Champions League final, there's no argument. And you know, Spurs. What was it when we won the title under Conte? Spurs had like over 80 points, and that was Pochettino's Spurs. So until I see one of Ange's teams reach a similar level, and I'm not looking at Celtic or one of those Japanese teams or the Australian, because it's just not the same. Until I see him do that in the Premier League, there's just no comparison, I'm afraid. And if we are going to talk about like high level in the Champions League, Celtic were terrible, and that was with him. Celtic are just always terrible in the Champions League. So I'm going to have to say strongly disagree. Poch has a higher potential.
I'm gonna land on disagree, simply because listen, I'm not gonna sit here and deny that what Postecoglou is doing so far with Spurs has been impressive. There is something to say about that. Maybe if he had more depth, maybe they wouldn't be capitulating as much right now. So maybe time will tell what he can do when there's, you know, more support in that team. But at the same time, like, I don't think Poch had much support when he was managing Spurs either. So
no, he had like one or two windows where he didn't even buy a player.
He literally made his players.
So I would say, like, you know, if Poch was in the situation Postecoglou is right now, maybe Poch still gets results and doesn't, you know, capitulate as much. Like, you know, I shouldn't say capitulate because we haven't seen it yet. Like, maybe Postecoglou does turn it around even without Maddison, even without a Kane, and so on and so forth. We've yet to see it, but like, it could happen. But, you know, losing to Wolves, right? They just lost to Wolves. Yeah, losing to Wolves isn't a good sign of things to come, considering how you were, you know, winning and competing with these tough teams. So I would say disagree. There is a potential, but I don't know. Poch, I think, is just a better manager.
I think this is where someone mentioned here that, you know, Postecoglou is a stubborn manager. I think that definitely applies. That applies to a game like Wolves, because, you know, you're playing Eric Dyer and Ben Davies as a centre back pairing. And try and play a high line.
Did he actually? Okay. I don't think he had any other centre backs, but yeah, the high line. It's just
that's my point, Chris. You need to adjust the tactics depending on the personnel.
He plays at 90 depth. That's what he does up on defence.
And I will also mention too, like, we've yet to see what Pochettino can do with a proper team, properly backed, like with Chelsea. So now that he has Chelsea at his disposal, who knows? You saw what he did with. Wait, hold on. You saw what he did with Spurs. If he can get that far with Spurs with no backing, imagine what he could do with Chelsea with backing.
I actually think he's going to do, like, because with every Tottenham player I remember, like, he just got a bunch of people were just unknown, like Son. He wasn't that well known, like, no one was really looking at him, and his first season at Tottenham wasn't great. Harry Kane was a nobody. He made Kyle Walker as well. I'm pretty sure, like, he a lot of players, even Dele Alli, like, there's so many players you can put in there. Like, he just made from scratch, basically, like, potential players and turned into great players. I think he's gonna do it for a fair few players at Chelsea. Like, I think with Cole Palmer, I think he's gonna do wonders with Cole Palmer. I think he probably rates him. But go on.
Mudryk as well.
That's the other thing too. Postecoglou, I haven't really seen him do with Spurs this season is improve players. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say he's improved Basuma. Everyone here on this panel wanted Basuma. Yeah. I wanted Basuma at Chelsea at one point. I thought Basuma was always a good player, but Conte, you know, terrorist Conte, like, he just didn't rate the guy. Didn't give him a shout. I think it was always a good player.
Oh, I'll tell you, he's improved Pedro Porro, definitely. That guy looks like he can defend now.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Marshall, that guy last season, he was playing in a back three as a wing back, and he still couldn't defend. Like, now he's playing in a back four.
Any other player you want to mention?
Pape Sarr, he wasn't. I mean, but is that the Conte effect though? Like, this is the thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Conte stinks,
Yeah.
man. He's gotten Son back to his best, but that's the Conte effect as well.
But also, like, Son is playing as a striker now, no longer as a left winger.
Yeah, I guess.
So Son is going to get more GA.
No, but he under Poch he did play striker as well, but not as much, of course. But
that's when Kane was injured, right?
Yeah.
Not like now he's a striker for the team.
Yeah, mainly when Kane was missing. Yes.
If Postecoglou can improve Richarlison, then I might shift the goalpost a little bit. All right.
Or Richarlison had an injury. He's gone for surgery.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Screw that guy. Let's continue the video, guys.
And then Pochettino as a manager.
Hard to say. He's only been here.
Too early.
So by the premise of it's too early, I'm just going to say disagree. Not strongly, because you don't know. He got a Carabao Cup in the first round, or whatever the hell he played, like against Fulham.
Fulham away.
That's
not for everyone.
That's true.
Not for everyone.
So, but again, I'm not going to write.
Oh yeah, he did. He got eliminated from the Carabao Cup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually not good. All right, I'm leaning more towards strongly disagree now. But let's continue.
I'm off. Be delusional to say he can't do anything because it's only been a small sample size, like I said. So let's see. And Poch, again, he's still early in his managerial career. It's hard to say. So I'll say disagree for now. Poch,
As like a side question that's sort of like related to it, because obviously being a Spurs fan and Poch was obviously at Spurs beforehand. Are you worried about the fact that he couldn't win anything with us?
That is the big that's the big question mark for me. You know what I mean? He's got a lot. He's got a.
This is a Tottenham thing.
No. That's the thing. Yeah, with
Mourinho
Spurs,
and Conte couldn't do it.
That is true. That is true. Mourinho and Conte couldn't do it, and they're both winning managers. And with the environment that Poch was in at Spurs, he didn't have the same level of investment or ambition that he has at Chelsea, right? So he's going to get given the tools. He's going to have the money here. But at the same time, the decision-making in the final moments is key. Because when he went to the Champions League final, he didn't have to start Harry Kane. Lucas Moura just scored a hat-trick. Harry Kane was hobbling everywhere, and he decided to start him and basically played with 10 men. Do you know what I'm saying? So in the final moments, I still need to see Poch prove himself.
Mourinho.
What do you guys think about that, by the way? Do you feel that because he didn't accomplish anything at Tottenham, that might come over to Chelsea?
I don't think that's
where I stand. Where I stand, real quick, before you go, Chris. Where I stand is that you could make the argument that he didn't reach the heights that he should have at Tottenham because he didn't get the backing that he is going to be getting here at Chelsea. Chris?
I don't fully agree. I think he did many good things at Tottenham. He made a very good Tottenham team out of no funding really. He didn't really have much of a funding. Say for example, if it's called Leicester or something, people will say, "Well, this manager's done so much for that team and everything," just because it's named Tottenham, whatever reason. And maybe the fans try to act like they're a big club. They're not a big club, especially back then. They're still not, I don't think, anyway now. But he did many things. He got Champions League final with that team. Yeah, he lost it, but no one would ever expect Tottenham to get to a Champions League final. And I will say as well, they was definitely the better team against Liverpool. But better teams don't mean you to go win. It's the ones who put in the back of net and who actually get the result and win. But he made a very good Tottenham team and did things in its way and set up for the future. For the next manager who came in and didn't do anything, I don't think really. So yeah, they're still not winning trophies. Whatever manager they get, they're still not winning trophies. So it doesn't matter. It's just Tottenham.
Oliver, where do you stand with that?
I'm gonna agree with what Don said there about it's not really about the fact that Poch didn't win trophies. It's about the decisions that he made in the process. Was Pochettino giving his team the best chance to win trophies? And that example he gave in the Champions League final, where Harry Kane should not have played that game. He wasn't fit. Lucas Moura was the informed player at that time. So it's about the decision you make towards that. Spurs might have lost that Champions League final if they played Lucas Moura. They might have lost that Champions League final if they had a fit Harry Kane and started him. But it's about the decisions that the manager makes within that, and that's why I don't always look at results as a indicator for how good a manager is. I've criticised Pochettino and Graham Potter and previous managers. I've criticised their decisions when we've won games and when we've gotten positive results, because you're going to need those decisions to come. You're going to need that decision making to come good when you make a final, when you need to make a big decision. So that's it for me, really.
I just imagine though. Do you imagine the media like if he didn't start Harry Kane like and play Lucas Moura and still lost? Or they would
but
went
like,
after him like.
if you're scared of the media, then I can't.
No,
lie.
I'm not saying. But I'm just saying. You imagine, but like I would have played Harry Kane because it's Harry Kane. You know, you can feed him a very. In all fairness, Harry Kane did flop that final. Like he was awful. He's a big letdown for him actually. But then again, he was not fully fit, was he? So
You're playing an unfit Harry Kane against arguably the best centre back in the world at the time. Like that was never going to go well.
So you wouldn't have blamed Poch if he played Lucas Moura
No,
over Harry Kane, right?
he was in form and he was fit.
Yeah, he did really well before that final as well. I know, I remember. It's just it's a hard decision though. It's not an easy decision. If you're gonna drop Harry Kane, it's not gonna be easy. You have to really think through it.
The thing is, this is where you've got to look at the other side of it. You know, you can blame Poch maybe
Kante was injured in the final, right, Oliver? Look how well he played.
Yeah, and look what happened to him after that. That ruined.
I know.
That Europa League was not worth risking Kante like that. We could have.
No, but I'm just saying you can have a good performance in the final though, even if you're injured.
Yeah, but Kante is not. Kante's not human, and Harry Kane is. Like, there's a big difference there. But yeah, the thing with that final is like you've got to look at it. You know, there's two parts of it. It's one part is the decisions that Pochettino made within that, and that was Harry Kane starting over Moura. But you also look at, I think it was said as well by the guys in the video. It was the environment that Pochettino was in. That the fact that he didn't have a competent backup number 9. Lucas Moura is not a number 9; he's a winger. And I know I said that I would have rather hit. If I were a Spurs fan, I would have preferred him to start as the informed guy, but he's still not a number 9. So that's on Spurs for not. Sorry,
he could play Son up strike.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but he's more of a winger. So I
who would you have up strike then?
I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you what I'd rather, Chris. If I were a Spurs fan, or if I was Pochettino at Spurs, I would rather my club give me a competent backup and not have to rely on playing wingers.
That's not down to Poch, though.
But that's what I'm saying, Chris. That's what I'm saying. There's two sides to the equation. There's Pochettino and the decisions he makes, and then there's also the environment that he was in. And that environment was Tottenham Hotspur when they were just building a stadium and they had to repay off all that, so they couldn't spend money.
Yeah.
So them not spending money meant that they didn't have the resources to cope without Harry Kane being fit.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right. So to close up the poll, 15 of you guys voted, and 60% of you disagree that Postecoglou has a higher ceiling than Poch, which I think that's where I land to pretty much. We'll see. Time will tell, obviously, but as of right now, I would have to say no. I think we're seeing more from Poch right now than we are seeing from Postecoglou at Spurs. But all right, the next question, and this one is a toughie. I will also place into context that I started watching Chelsea probably the season and a half after this. Oh, Alex, what's up? All right, big up Alex. Alex joined us for this one. But yeah, so Alex, actually, we'll start you up with this, man. And big up to him. Mourinho's 04-05 Chelsea team is the greatest PL side. Do you strongly disagree, agree, or strongly agree?
I strongly agree. I think it's one of the best sides. And if you think about it, we only conceded 15 goals.
Yeah.
That is really side. Impressive. I need more context because I just don't know.
How many clean sheets did we get as well? We had a clean sheet for a long time.
Yeah,
very long time.
I think we only lost one game.
Was it 10 games in a row?
Yeah, it was one game. Only one game we lost.
We only lost one game, conceded 15 goals, I think, as far as I remember. Then it was.
That was the point. That was the points record at the time as well, I think.
Yeah. We got 98 points at the time, something like that. And if you remember correctly, that wasn't. I think the next season was 98 points. I think it's definitely stronger. Like people will say 08 or 09. I think 08 or 09 we're conceding the goals a lot compared to the season before. Plus Ballack was in it, so it's not my favorite cup of tea.
I can't believe you ain't let go of that yet.
No, I really don't care.
That's funny, man.
No,
I
I
was
just
just say
think
such a strong unit that team was, because we didn't concede for like 10 games as well. I'm pretty sure we had
you
a
gotta
very
think
long
about the
conceding
opposition that
record.
we played at 05-06 compared to the opposition we played 08 or 09. If you think about it, that's the prime time United. That's a prime time Arsenal still was irrelevant. But just went invisible season before. It was 04 or 05. That's when Liverpool won the Champions League. People forget about that. How serious competition was back then. So when you put all that concept into the same conversation, that 04-05 season was or 05-06, I think is one of the biggest, strongest Chelsea's teams at the time.
What about Chris? Where do you stand? Agree?
You know,
strongly
Alex
agree,
opened my eyes. I
strongly
forgot
disagree?
about Liverpool literally in 05 winning Champions League. Yeah, like I was gonna say agree, but I'd say strongly agree, because that Chelsea team as a unit was so strong to face. You couldn't beat that team. Like, it was so good as a team. Like, you just didn't want to play against it. So yeah, Alex said all the things right basically about team. Yeah, I'm gonna say strongly agree now at this point.
I just said the stuff that you didn't know.
No, I knew a lot of stuff about the clean sheets and everything. I know a lot.
Reminded him.
But I forgot.
I'm saying,
I forgot
like, you
how
were,
Liverpool as well.
how old are you?
I didn't
in
know, though.
506?
I was 7.
Okay.
I didn't know because I didn't get into Chelsea until mid-season.
Like, I understand
I was born in the 90s, Alex, late 90s.
I graduated high school in 96.
Yeah, you have a bad memory for sure. I know that.
I bet I do have a bad memory, so I can mess up sometimes seasons.
Yeah.
So
No,
it will not be the first time that I don't have a bad memory. I have a bad detail to the memory. I have a object of the memory, but I don't have a detailed. If I counted right, I had 14 concussions in my life.
Jesus.
What?
How are you?
Hey, be careful, man.
I've had a couple.
I mean, why I need to be careful now? It's too late now. I already had them.
Just don't have another one.
I ran
Don't get any more, yeah.
check helmet.
A post at one point, man. I knocked myself out when I was young. But...
Oh my god, Oliver, where do you stand on this? Strongly agreed, agree, disagree, strongly disagree.
So the question is the 04-05 the best title-winning team of all time?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say disagree. I take Pep Centurions. Sorry, but that team is greatness. Like I'll take 04-05 as a close second, but to get 100 points and Fabian Delph at left back, Andrew says it all the time. Like that is just
it's provides you a good thing what Pep did, but it's also neutralized the points that I was saying compared to the competition of the league at that time.
Like I said, Alex, I think it's very, very close. I don't. Me saying that it's the Centurions doesn't mean that I don't rate the 04-05.
No. I mean, what Centurions? When was that? What year is that now?
That was 2017, 2018.
Okay, who was the team to beat that season? Nobody. Even Liverpool was crap.
They was.
Yeah.
Chelsea was still basically falling off.
So tell me the team that we try like. There's nobody. So to get 100 points and that kind of league competition, it was like seriously.
But Alex, you can even argue that the season after that, when they finished above Liverpool by 1 point and they had like 98 points, like that was they had a pretty fierce competition in that season as well.
From Liverpool, nobody else.
Yeah, because with Chelsea we had two.
Yeah, but what one team is the difference between winning and losing it. So I think it's still very impressive.
Yeah, but I understand your point. I'm challenging the league. When you're saying the best team in the league, you have to compare the league at that time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a fair argument. I hear you, bro.
So the league at the time it's like giving what's the name? Props to Leicester for winning the title. All the props to Leicester. They did one. But did anybody? What's everybody's the number one excuse at the time?
There's no one competing except for Tottenham, and no, not Arsenal.
So you see what I'm saying? So it's like, first of all, again, I'm a defender. I'm going to look at the defensive skills way primary than I think. If they don't beat you, you have more chances of beating them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah, it's valid.
I'm
It's
glad
valid.
I'm glad
No,
Alex
no,
joined
it's fine.
because
You
there's
just
a lot
look
of
at
context I
offensive
didn't know.
way.
Yeah, there's a lot of because, like I said, like I became a Chelsea fan when Avram Grant was managing the team at the time, so I missed the whole
0809.
Mourinho. Yeah, I really missed the whole Mourinho part of it, so I didn't know the context. But you know, now that you said it, you had Arsenal that was just coming off of that Invincibles run. You have Liverpool, who just won Champions League not too long ago. United, that was arguably like the best era of United. Well, not arguably. It's not arguably at all. It's the best era of United that we've ever seen. And yeah, the competition was a lot different.
Scholes, Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
That's the players that we played against that time. Thierry Henry.
That's the other thing too. When you look at like the defensive numbers, to be able to hold for the whole season 15 goals conceded against the strikers and the attackers that those other teams had, that is pretty impressive. And that record still stands to this day. So strongly agree. You know what? Yes.
Well, I don't think that record's getting broken for the record.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Yeah, that thing is going to be edged in stone for the rest of the time.
You think City could break
Defensive records are harder to beat than offensive records?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
So something about mentality, like to do something like that, is like incredible. Like I couldn't like.
By the way,
imagine that.
Chris, what did you say about you? Do you think City could beat it?
No, but you think City could maybe try like compete with it?
No,
like,
they conceded 4 goals to. They conceded 4 goals to us. So there's no chance. That's already like just under a third of what we conceded in that one season.
That's how like I don't think it's ever gonna be broken. Like it's impossible. I think I'd be amazed if some team breaks it. I would be amazed.
Let's see what the panel on this video say.
Is the greatest Premier League side.
Really,
Lewis? Oh, disagree.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Back up.
The greatest.
The greatest.
Someone concede less goals than 15
Yeah,
in a
that's
season.
the stat, right?
That's a good stat.
And the team itself was just a lovely team.
Like I could hear Centurions over 04 or 05, but like we've also got something that isn't going to be topped. Nobody is conceding less than 15 in a season.
You disagree?
I think what we did is a big achievement, but the reason why I'm gravitating more towards Man City is the fact that they've literally dominated the league. Do you know what I'm saying? With the same sort of players. So as much as we had a good achievement, only conceding 15 goals, the amount of goals that they scored, they got over 100 points.
Oh, 100 points.
They cleared so many records that season, right? And just the type of football that we were seeing.
I love my boys in blue. But when Man City did what they did to the Centurions,
man, that was a
I'm
serious
not saying
season.
I am saying it's better. I'm standing here, but like I'm not saying ours is like a lot lower. But to do 100 points for me is a little bit more impressive than 15 goals in my opinion.
How does your side rank to like the Invincibles or maybe Man
Oh,
United?
we're clear.
Yeah. I think it's better.
Them draw merchants. Nah, we beat the Invincibles the season before. Only Arsenal can be invincible and knocked out 2 cup competitions in a week.
Reece James is clear of Trent.
Okay, come on, no question is that. Don't question.
You see how conversation between those guys. The minute that you brought up defensive thing, like what is the better? The guys went on the left side, Centurions are better. You see, the question is when you go to the other side, like Lewis said, and the minute that they brought up unbeaten thing, all the guys on the left, all of a sudden, stop saying that Chelsea did a better record than Arsenal. Why they flipped to the other side and defend the defensive record of Arsenal so highly? Do you see what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, it's not is impressive.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
See what I'm saying?
I
Like
agree
how
with you.
it
It's
flipped from that side.
And I feel like they didn't consider the competition, like you just said, right?
Exactly. They don't. None of them are actually born and watched the league at that time. If you will bring them the conversation about who had the league stats, like who was fighting for for that whatever that point is. Like I don't care. We had Alonso and who else was playing as a left back. So they can score. Even Fabian Delph can do it with the league at that time. There's no way Delph would have started for City if Ronaldo was still there, Rooney Prime was still there, Thierry Henry was still there, Torres was still there. Well, no, Torres came later.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, like if you go pick any team like to face against, you ain't gonna want to face against that Chelsea team. You're not having a good time at all. With City, you
And
still
then-
might have a chance.
And then Lewis mentioned it towards the end right there. Like, we managed to beat that Invincibles team. And you know, like, it's just yeah, I agree. And then the other thing too, like, you also have to take into consideration the style of football that that team kind of influenced for the rest of history going forward. Like, you know, Jose came into Chelsea that season and established a style of football that other teams were not using and other teams couldn't figure out. So it's historical in that sense as well. But let's see chat what you guys had to say. 6 voted, and there's a draw between agree and strongly agree that was Mourinho's, or the Mourinho side was the best PL side of all time. So all right, well, for the most part you guys agree. Next question is, Reece James is clear of Trent. I expect all of you guys to say strongly agree, but Oliver, we'll start with you and then we'll go to Alex.
I'd say strongly agree, if not for the injuries. So I'm just going to say agree.
Okay, Alex.
That's it, really.
What was the question again?
Reece James is clear of Trent. Come on, man.
I'm a defender first, so yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that position should be a defender first position, anyways. You can do all this offensive stuff, but if you can't do the very basic, which is defend, I think you're not good at that position. Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna say agree. Like, the only thing what holds Reece James really against Trent is his injuries. Because if this guy wasn't again injured like every season or so, he'd be like, I'd be saying strongly agree actually. Like, if he wasn't getting so injured, but he's not wide down. Like, he can just attack, he can defend, and he can do a lot of things. Trent can only attack basically. He needs someone to trap back for him to support him. Reece doesn't need that.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. Strongly agree that Reece James is clear of Trent. And, you know, we mentioned these injuries. Look, he's not as injury prone as James, but Trent isn't a fit spring chicken every season anyways. So it's not like he's always available. I think last season he was out for a few games. Season before that, also out with some injury. So, like, you know, this player does get, you know, at least one injury a season. It's not like he's fit for the whole season anyways. So, I mean, even the fitness aspect of it's not much of an advantage that you get from Trent out of Reece James. But yeah, let's see what the panel has to say, because again, there's not really much discussion here. It's very clear and obvious why Reece James is the better right back.
Oh, there was a little stutter over there.
I know why you asked that question though. It's because of the injury.
Are you all strongly agree or just agree?
Strongly agree.
Agree. I agree. I don't strongly agree. I agree.
I think he's a better player overall. And the reason why the question is a question is because of the injuries. But you're saying better player. He's a better player.
You asked if he's clear.
But when he plays, he is clear.
But then that's also got to be a little bit a part of it, right?
Yeah. Still got to be like on a consistent level. Like, how often?
But then if that was the case, we'd still be over there because Trent plays way more than James does.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, when it comes to defending and attacking, he's better than Trent. Yeah. But Trent attacking is elite as well. So I can't say Reece James is clear of Trent. I think he's better than Trent, comfortably as well. But I don't think he's clear of Trent. You know what I mean?
I think you can argue, like, going forward, like, attacking wise, yeah, okay, there's been times where Trent has been better than James, but defensively, one-on-one, like, James shuts down like more wingers than
But I think you can say he's clear, because, like, if both players are fit, who are you picking? You're obviously picking James. You don't even hesitate. So this idea, like, oh, clear, better, like, let's just discuss, like, if they are fit and you pick them for your team, who are you picking? You're picking Trent or you're picking James? It's
yeah, then I'm saying
James without hesitation.
Yeah, if it's just based on how good the player is, then yeah, strongly agree. But yeah, I'm just trying to take a more holistic point of view, and that's why I say just agree.
I mean, I understand the injury aspect of it. Like, I get that is a big part of it, right? You want to be fit, but at the same time, like, when he is fit, listen, I'm not trying to belittle Trent. I know that player is capable of, like, wonderful ability when it comes to passing and crossing, but is that winning you game after game? Is that, like, detrimental part of Liverpool's system? I wouldn't say so. I mean, is Reece James a detrimental part of Chelsea? No, but last season he almost was. and the season before that with Tuchel and the wing backs, he was too. So like, I don't know, like Reece James, I feel like has more of an impact on Chelsea overall than Trent on Liverpool, and I could be wrong on that. But
no, I'm going to say you're wrong because like comparing Trent at right back and what he gives them to Joe Gomez can't defend or attack, so it's useless.
All right, let's continue the what these.
We're gonna go, guys.
All right, Alex,
Okay,
thanks for making your
later.
cameo, brother. Have a good one, man. Have a good night.
Gusto's got better defensive stats than Trent this season already.
Yeah.
But when Reece James is fit and healthy, the guy should be starting for England. Do you know what I mean? He's the best right back, in my opinion, in the country.
Stamford Bridge should be knocked down and rebuilt.
Knocked down.
Oh my God! Wait.
Stamford Bridge.
I would move it. I would move it somewhere.
Wait, Chris, wait. You already know how this works, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what the chat has to say. Chat, 7 of you voted strongly agree. I mean, this is kind of we already knew where this is gonna go. But all right, Chris, since you're antsy, let's go ahead and get you started.
I
believe
knock down and rebuild.
Should
Right?
be knocked down.
Rebuild. Okay.
And basically rebuild the same place, right?
I assume that's what it means. Yeah.
So I disagree because I know we can't upgrade as a stadium past like 55k, or I think we're going to 55k, right? If I'm correct.
Minimum at least.
Well, 55 to 60 anyway. That is the max we're getting. If we moved somewhere different, we can go to like 80k, maybe 100k, right? And that's just like better for the club in general. You make more money, more fans can come and watch because Chelsea's, let's face it, one of the biggest clubs in England for sure. They have a lot of fans, so I disagree. I wouldn't even knock it down. I just like move to a different stadium, like West Ham. I don't know how big their stadium is, but it's above 60k for sure. It's got to be. And this West Ham, for God's sake, they moved to obviously.
Yeah, but they didn't build that.
I know they didn't build it.
That's the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's an Olympic Stadium, but like I would just just go somewhere different. But like, I guess travel could be a problem, or not being there. Like, it just could be a problem for Chelsea fans. But yeah, I would move it. But that's me. Disagree.
Oliver.
I mean, for me, it depends how you're interpreting the question, because you can interpret it how Chris interpreted it as, do we knock down and rebuild or do we move away? You could also interpret the question as, do we knock down and rebuild on the same site, or do we go stand by stand rebuild on the same site? Because that's what's been discussed in the report. So I'm gonna give like a double answer if I can. If it's knock it down and rebuild versus stand by stand. So the question is, it should be knocked down and rebuilt. So if the alternative is stand by stand, then strongly agree. If the alternative is move somewhere else, then strongly disagree. Like, I hope people understand.
So wait, you wouldn't want to move it?
No, I'm saying it. So I'm saying if you're saying knock it down and rebuild versus move, I'm saying move. Whereas if it's knock it down and whereas if the question is knock it down and rebuild versus rebuild stand by stand is going to take longer. So if we have to stay at Stamford Bridge, I'd rather them knock it down and rebuild it.
Can I say one more thing? I just don't see the point knocking it down just for 5 years or whatever for an extra 20k. I just want to move it. Just for bigger upgrades. I know the potential where it can go.
Chris, you need a site and you need the permission of the pitch owners.
Yes, I know, but we could get a site. It's not going to be impossible not to get a site.
The pitch owners need to agree on that site.
I know, but that's the thing. We can just if we didn't get their consent.
In an ideal world, guys, let's just talk ideal world, because we're throwing too many.
Say for example, we didn't get consent. We can't call it Stamford Bridge, right?
I don't know.
No, it's about the pitch owners own the freehold to the name Chelsea, so we can't be called Chelsea.
Yeah, we can't be called Chelsea.
Yeah, because they own the trademark.
Let's call it Blue London FC. or something. Yeah, that's what sucks about it. Like the pitch owners, man. Oh, they just need to give up, man.
If you were to ask me, Stamford Bridge should be knocked down and rebuilt. And listen, I'm not from London, so I don't have too much of a stake in this fight, right? If it were up to me, I strongly disagree with this. I say what Chris says: just build another stadium somewhere else and build it bigger and make it better and modernize it, and then you don't have to wait. You don't have to compromise with sales and tickets because you have to go over to Old Trafford or whatever. Or not Old Trafford, I'm sorry. The Fulham one. I can't remember the name of Fulham's stadium. Help.
Wait, sorry?
Craven Cottage. There we go.
Oh,
thanks,
Cottage,
guys. You're awesome.
I am awesome.
Craven Cottage. So yeah, like you don't have to compromise by going to Craven Cottage for X amount of seasons on tickets. You still have Stamford Bridge. Your new stadium is being built, and when a new stadium is built, you move to the new stadium. I think it's just so much better. It'll be better. Chelsea fans, the locals, there'll be more locals. They'll find a way to get there. They'll go regardless. So I just think just build a new stadium. You don't have to knock down and rebuild this one. I mean, eventually you're going to have to knock it down because it's just taking up space. But you'll be building something else and you have history there. Assuming, obviously, that the pitch owners agree and they decide to do this and stuff. I'm not putting too many hypotheticals into this question. But let's see what the panel has to say. And we'll go from there.
Down and rebuilt.
Knock down and rebuilt. So same like Stamford Bridge where we are now.
Yeah, staying where we are or
site.
leaving.
Staying there.
Staying there.
Staying there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, is it stay there or is it leave?
Oh,
it's stay there. If you're knocking it down, it's because you're rebuilding it. I would assume you're staying there and you're rebuilding it completely new.
Nah.
I mean,
okay, yeah.
Does that change your stance?
Yeah, well, if it's that, like I said, I'd totally go for the move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so I guess strongly disagree.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
For that, yeah.
All right. I'm the same. Okay, we all agree. Let's see.
He wants to pack his bags and get out of there.
We need a stadium bigger than 60K.
Yeah, only that's the reason. That's the reason.
Look how small that area is.
It's 55K. 55K.
We cannot
We need more
build
than that.
above 60K.
We
Like,
need more than
anywhere
that.
else we go, we can build 65K, 70K, build an actual big ground, not spend $1 billion, dig downwards, move out for 4 years anyway while we're doing it. All for 10, 15K seats that will all be, but they're all going to be hospitality too. And then the bridge seats are going to get hiked up. We're going to have to pay extra result. All for like 13K extra. Now move.
It's not worth it. I think knock it down and
What's
move.
the reasons for?
To be fair, if it's only about 15,000, then I hear your point. There isn't a point. I just have problems of change. I love stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's easy to get to transport-wise. I live in London, okay? But no, it depends. But
they might call it a hut, but it's my hut.
to be fair, though, I agree with you because then it means that while that stadium's being built, we get to still play at Stamford Bridge, yeah? Instead of going to play like at Wembley or like Craven Cottage or something. If it's that, then I want to play at Craven Cottage.
Or worse, the London Stadium. Imagine going there every other week.
No.
I can't be in Westfield anymore.
That's a really good point. The fact that we get to stay.
Marshall, do you want me to explain that to you?
Whilst
Go for it.
So basically, there's a shopping centre near the West Ham London Stadium called Westfields, and they basically don't let football fans walk through it, and that's the quickest route to get from the nearest train station to the stadium. So it's just really inconvenient, basically.
Jesus Christ.
Because, you get football fans acting mad and hooligans and all that. So
that's also what I'm saying. Like, I have no vested interest, but even like having no vested interest, I'd rather, because I'm not in London, right? So I don't have to deal with the transportation. I don't have to deal with getting to the commute, getting to the stadium. So like, I don't have that perspective. But regardless, like, I feel like there's so much more advantage just moving the goddamn stadium. Like, I get it. People don't like change. Listen, you get used to it, okay? There'll be a different... This happened... Okay. I could relate in a sense, right? Because this happened with the New York Mets back when I was into baseball. Mets used to have a field called Shea Stadium. And then eventually they built another baseball field called Citi Field. And they were building Citi Field while Shea Stadium and playing in Shea Stadium while Citi Field was being built. once City Field was built, they got rid of Shea Stadium. So, you know, it's like you don't have to miss out on playing football. You don't have to go to Craven Cottage. Like, there's so many more pros and advantages to having to like rebuild in the same spot because you don't want to move spots. Too convenient. Like, again, because it's inconvenient for some fans doesn't mean it's not going to be convenient for others. Who knows? It might be more convenient for other fans that are Chelsea fans that live closer to that area that the new stadium would be than the current one. So I just think considering that as well, you know, but I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if you guys want to add anything or we can just continue. All right, we continue.
All
right, let's continue. We're almost at the end, guys.
Our stadium's getting built,
You know,
and it's more than 55k. Yeah, man.
Oh my
Your stadium is nice. I like your stadium. I want something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that little space that we purchased is just for the trophy cabinet, and we're just going to.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Sorry, where'd you put one of those?
Don't worry, we'll take you there one time. A little stadium tour.
Never. Been there a few times. Had to have 3 showers afterwards.
All right, sweet. And that's the end of the video. Let me see what you guys finally decided on this final poll before we close out the video today. And also big up to everyone. But let's see. 6 of you voted. And half of you, 3 of you, 50% of you said you strongly you agree that the bridge should be knocked down and rebuilt. And 32% of you strongly disagree. So you probably agree with me, Chris, and Oliver about just going to another stadium.
It makes sense to do that because I don't because I ain't been since 2018, but like it's hard to get into like tickets for Chelsea. I'd say like right now anyway, and just for extra 15k, like it's not gonna make much of a difference. It doesn't benefit the fans. Like it's gonna cost more money in general because it's lesser seats. It's harder to get in. So yeah, like I would just like a nice big stadium with like a new type of build as well for sure. Like just make it look really nice. I love the Arsenal Stadium. I can't lie. The Arsenal Stadium, even Tottenham Stadium, is really nice. I think those 2 stadiums.
Hey, Chris.
No, but like the 2 stadiums.
Careful what you say, Chris.
They are the 2 best stadiums, I think.
Sound like an Arsenal fan right now.
In the Premier League, they're the 2 best stadiums for me, in general. Without taking, being biased and not because they got a nice new looking stadium. Tottenham's is very nice actually, even though it looks like a toilet above. It's a nice stadium. Arsenal's is actually my favorite.
That's the other thing too. Like with a new stadium, you get to, instead of building on what's already there, right, or rebuild with the little capacity that you have in that area, with a new stadium, I think you have more liberties to just like catch up to the modern infrastructure of stadiums nowadays. Like, for fuck's sake, like Alex went to that game in North Carolina, right? During the summer. I forgot it was a Newcastle game, I think, right?
I think it might be Newcastle, yeah.
No, I don't think it was Newcastle. No? It was
I don't know.
Oh, I can't remember. What other teams did we face?
We played Newcastle, Fulham, and Brighton.
It was Newcastle. But look at that! Look at that Newcastle game. Like that stadium is so modern. It's indoor and it's air conditioned in the inside. Like you can catch up to modern day stadiums now. You don't have to have an old stadium. Like you have more liberties when it's new construction versus building off of a ground that you have limitations. So I don't know. It just seems like more logical to just build a goddamn new stadium at a new location. Fans will adapt. Fans will find a way to get there. It's like, I know it's inconvenient, but regardless, like it's what's your inconvenience is a convenience for others. So that's where I stand on this. Any final thoughts, guys?
No, not really. I don't think. I was gonna say actually, the whole like video actually, like I'm not sure if you disagree or agree with it though, but that kit that I can't remember what year it was, but like I remember buying it. I still have it. That kit that
Nina has.
Yeah, that kit is like probably top 3, top 5 for Chelsea's history. I love that kit.
Right. Overall good video.
2013. Was it 2013?
I don't know. Overall good video though, Chris.
Yeah, it's a good video. I agree with most of them. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was nice. It's good to see that a lot of people agree on things, and at the end of the day, most of the trolls and the contrarians, they live on Twitter, don't they? So
yeah. True.
Game trolls.
Yeah, just those Chelsea fans, the ones that we just saw, do not depict what on Twitter. Clearly, we see that. So, you know, I think for the most part, like real Chelsea fans, the ones that don't live on Twitter, mostly agree with everything that was questioned today and everything that was said. And hey, you love to see it. There's a little bit of harmony there. Obviously, we have our differences and slight opinions, but that's what makes the Chelsea community awesome, is that we can discuss these. Well, Chelsea YouTube community is we can discuss these things and have our differences and still at the end of the day come to a conclusion.
That's what they did in the video when they disagreed as well. They had a little chat about it.
Yeah, and that's what you love to see.
That's all it has to be. You don't have to make slanderous names. You don't have to shout.
It's not Twitter. It doesn't have to be toxic.
It's not Twitter. It's not echo chamber YouTube channels. It's none of that. You know?
Exactly. So, I mean, big up to official George Achillea. Thank you so much for making this video. Not big up to the fact that you're a Tottenham fan, but it's okay. You could always, you know, if you ever want to win trophies, you can always start to slowly and surely accept you into the Chelsea community. But big up, good video, awesome content. I would like to see more content like this from the Chelsea YouTube community. If you haven't done so already, ladies and gents, smash up the like buttons. We're 1 like away from 20 or 30. So if you can get us to 30 likes, I would really appreciate it. But that's going to be our video today. Real Chris, Oliver, thank you guys for joining me in the panel. Big up to you guys in the chat who also participated in the polls. If you haven't done so already, like I said, smash up the like button. It does help out the channel tremendously. Be sure to check out the subscribe button as well if you also haven't subscribed, and if you're new to us and happen to catch the channel and happen to catch the content and you actually like the content, hit the subscribe and be a returning part of the community here at Casually FC. Be sure to hit the bell notification so you don't miss out when we do go live. Also, check out the links in the description for my content, the Twitter, Discord, Ahmed, and Sarcasm City's channels are on there as well. Big parts of our community. And leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about everything that was discussed in the video. And big up to EE, man. Thanks for becoming a casual. That's awesome. We appreciate the support. If you haven't done so already, do check out the memberships. It's a great way to support the channel and the content that you guys love. And it only starts at 99p, which is the tier that EE joined, which is the casual tier. If you do join at a higher tier, like proper casual and higher, you do get a shout out. So shout outs are going to be going to OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, Adrian, Will, and A Solomon, who are longtime proper casual or higher tiered members and supporters of the channel. And big up to EE for joining, and big up to everyone else who is a casual, like Chris, Oliver, and so on and so forth. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. That is the stream. We will be back tomorrow for a Casually Chelsea show, so be on the lookout for that. And we'll be talking to you guys very soon. Have a wonderful night and stay casual. Peace.